Have you ever wondered why we act and think like we are today? For example, do you eat food because it's a necessity? Or do you eat food because that's what makes you alive? This difference in opinion itself comes from perspective. And this perspective derive mostly from memories. Memories shape what we become today, our life reference. But what about the people who change their perspective entirely? Like it turns your view upside down. They change instantly or slowly? Or do they still retain the old perspective or even mix it to create an entirely new perspective? And most importantly, what kind of memories that makes them change completely? Well, these are the things that we are going to discover in Frieren as her journeys will teach us about it. Welcome to my video. And so, this is Frieren, Beyond Journey End. Let's begin with the world itself. The world of Frieren is what we call fantasy, where there's magic and creatures like dragon and demon. And Frieren, as a series, is all about slice of life within this world that's full of adventure and with some action that are, in my opinion, very well made. It's amazing actually. The story starts when the party of heroes goes back after they succeed in the journey to defeat the demon lord. But wait, if the great evil or the final boss has been defeated, then what are the stories supposed to be? Well, we understand what the story is all about in a few scenes. The party are filled with the human hero Himmel, dwarf warrior Aizen, human priest Haita, and lastly, elf mage Frieren. They are on a journey back to the royal capital after defeating the demon lord. The world celebrate as the party triumph brings the humanity victory and survival. So, people are rejoicing, dancing, and even drinking as they heart content. Meanwhile, our heroes reminisce about their past adventures, and even their flaws when they adventure together. Himmel and Aizen almost getting executed, Haiter having a weekly hangover, and Frieren fall for the oldest trick in the book of dungeoneering, Mimic. They talk like it was nostalgia, because after all, they have been journeying together for 10 years. But to Frieren, it's just 10 years. Look, even the poor Haiter has become an old man now.
失礼ですよ。
This simple conversation already convey the difference between elf and other races. You see, elf in this world has a really long lifespan. Even before the series told you about that, the interaction already gave us a clue about it. To the elf race, 10 years might as well be a month, or even a week in a human time. But then, the meteor stars came. It's called Era Meteor Star. The party are amazed of it because it was a meteor star that appeared once every 50 years. It was a start for the new age of peace. But Frieren treated it casually and even offered a spot where they could watch it with better internet. Of course, to her it's just 50 years. But to humans, 50 years is half of their lifespan. This further solidifying the difference in perspective. Well, if you think about it, if you have a long lifespan, like, I don't know, 10,000 years old, or even more than that, 10 or 50 years, my cost will be the same. Because of that, you cannot understand races with shorter lifespan. And when you start to think about them again, they have already gone. And so, after the celebration, they go separate ways. Frieren goes to travel the world in the pursuit of magical knowledge. While doing that, she searches for materials, helping the village, entertain the masses, exploring caves and place. You know, all the things that make you call an adventurer. Then, 50 years has passed, and Frieren returns to the capital to find that everything has changed, including their former companions. And finally, they have one last adventure to see the meteor shower. Yes, one final, memorable adventures. Himmel the hero died because of old age. Memories of their adventure came back. Then, finally, realization hit her. And so, the tears of regret were shed. She knows that human has a short lifespans, She always knows this. She already prepared for it. Or so she thought, because this single moment changed Frieren's perspective. And it's the start of their journey with full of emotional and life-changing experience. And so, Frieren started a new journey, accompanied with new people, Fern, Stark, and Shane. Fern is a mage who Hayter adopted as his daughter, and later Frieren took as an apprentice. Stark is a warrior who is Asian apprentice, and he traveled alone because he wanted to have a story for his master. And Shane is a priest who traveled with the party to find his friend. Their new journey is full of new memories that were created because Frieren knew perspective, where she wanted to know more about human. This journey, while trying to know about humans, especially her companions, become the concept of the series, where the important thing from time are not about how much you have, but rather, how well are you using it. Of course, these changes cannot be instant, as someone's nature or habit can be hard to change. In the case of Frieren, even though she is changing in perspective, her habit still isn't gonna disappear just yet. We can see that her journey time skip starts from 50 years time skip. By then, the time skip gradually lowering as Frieren starting to understand her companion and began to appreciate every moment that she and her companions had encountered. We always talk about memories and how it affects our way of life, most importantly, our perspective. But what is a memory in the first place? Well, technically speaking, memory is the mental capacity to encode, store, and retrieve information. But basically, memory is a scenario or scenery that we remember in our brain in which we can recall it. But our brain has its limits too. You cannot remember exactly every scenario or scenery that is happening in your life, but you will remember the memory that has an impact, a big one. Although, not all memories are impactful, but if you look carefully enough, every seemingly mundane interaction like seeing the sunrise together, celebrating someone's birthday, can be an impactful memory. And these memories shape your life. It's your reference to your life choice. Even the one you might think is not going to help you anyway, can help you in some cases. They help create a perspective of the world around you, how you see the world, and how you react to it. In the case of the party, Fern's parents died, and she would have been joining them in the afterlife if Hayter didn't stop her. In that moment, Hayter became her reason to live. Hayter told Fern that she has a talent for a mage, and this has become Fern's goal. But the reason for the goal are different. All she wants is to assure Hayter that he doesn't need to worry about Fern when he's gone. Her memories shape her to be more responsible in the early age. We can see that in the journey, where she always takes care of Frieren just like a mother would do to her kids. Although she's not always like that all the time, sometimes she acts like a child, like getting an argument with Stark over simple stuff. And then there's Stark, the warrior of the party, an Asian apprentice. Stark's flaw is that he's not confident. This tied to his memory of the past in which his childhood is full of his father's disappointed stare. He's unable to achieve his father's expectation compared to his brother, even if he's training really hard for it. But his brother helped him rather than mock him, and Stark feels happy and relieved for that. Although, that feeling won't stay that long. Stark ran away from monsters that attacked his village. His brother told him, but still, makes Stark guilty. He ran away. He saved only himself. Although, that's the reason Aizen takes Stark as his apprentice. It's because Stark reflects his past. Stark is a scaredy cat. He's always afraid of anything that seems dangerous, and his lack of self-confidence plays a really big part about it. But it doesn't mean he's a coward, because even though he's afraid, he doesn't run away, because in his memory, that part is his biggest regret. Shane, the Gothi priest, is the nickname which he got from his best friend, Gorilla Warrior. They dream as adventurers from they are little, and wish to carve their name in the history, but he chose to be in a small village rather than to chase glory. This is all because his memory in which he eavesdropped his brother and Hayter conversation. His brother as well is a talented priest, and Hayter recommended him to go to the holy city. But he's afraid that him and his brother would leave their hometown, and it would count as robbing his brother from his hometown. This makes Shane believe that he will stay at his hometown as it was his brother's wish. But that's what he thinks. His best friend invited him to become adventurers, but he rejected. And it has been 10 years, and yet this memory still retained in his life. You can tell that he's regretting the fact that he's not accepting the invite, and even though he can search for him, he thinks that it's already too late and decides to give up on it. This reflects Frieren's past, where she thinks that it's already too late to defeat the Demon Lord. But Himmel asks her,
それがどうしたフリーレン。
私は今の話をしている。
it's more the reason for Frieren to take Saint and force him to get out from this cage of regret. Saint still rejects it, but Frieren doesn't give up. And this turns into a sequence of Frieren trying to get Saint into her party. Although she and her companions seems to fail in fighting him, he finally told them why. He doesn't want to be an adventurer, and this greatly saddened his brother, and slapped him in the face, because he knew that Saint regret his choice. Saint's brother is always kind and calm, but the fact that this kind and calm brother is angry told something that makes Saint an impactful realization. His brother never regretted throwing away the opportunity, but what about Saint? He lives in regret for forsaking his dream, and so he apologized to his brother and agreed to be Freedom Party member to find his best friend. So, every person is different, and so is their perspective. You might butt head with these people because of their difference with yours, agree with them in some cases, laugh with them, and even change your perspective because of them. Isn't it fun to know about their perspective? I mean, that's why we even watching film and series of some sorts, watching their story and perspective, and in the end, understand them as a person and why they act that way. We can relate with it and realize something from it. Aren't memories interesting? Or rather, isn't life interesting? Hey, thank you so much for watching my video. I wish it can be helpful for you in any way, either it's entertainment or even inspirational. If you like the video, then could you hit the like button, subscribe, and share the video? Thanks, and see you again in the next video.